I got the juice like a snow cone, ice in my veins and a cold flow. I'm getting cash overseas by the boatload. You wanna ride my wave? That's a no-go. Senoritas going loco, make it bounce like a pogo. All my haters see rojo, they big mad cause they coming up short like Frodo. Activate the beast mode, I keep it hot, give your brain a heat stroke. You ain't a big shot, you some basic B-roll. The world is mine like my name's Pacino. Hey, it's Nico, I guess I'm back. Catch me in the fast lane on the right track. And my shorty is a 10 like a dime bag. Got me feeling like a millie, check the price tag. Got the party jumping like crisscross. Got the gold chain and the wristwatch. Pull up on the scene like a big shot. EDM and hip hop, ain't no time for pit stops. Got the party jumping like crisscross. Got the gold chain and the wristwatch. Pull up on the scene like a big shot. EDM and hip hop, it's my style. No time for daydreams. All my brothers get money, we call it gangrene. Just another day, but our focus still on the same thing. Us against everyone else, I recommend you change teams. Who the hottest in the
Elevated has got a lot of work to do. He's now working for two fellas.
Yeah, very much so. I mean, I think with him stepping up to this head coach position, it is a lot more work. It is a different role altogether. But it seems like he's taking it in his stride. He's going to try and rise to the challenge to help guide this team forward. So that's all you can ask from your coaching staff. So massive respect to him there.
For sure.
But there's no dancing around it. They have a mountain to climb today.
Yeah, and it's not great timing for them. I mean, this is an important game. I think they've got to reserve their expectations at the end of the day. They would have anyway. DRX is going to be a tough opponent for anyone in Pacific. So I think this might have to be a little bit of a test game, a little bit of a learning game for Global. And I want to see, particularly on Split, the map they picked into this series, what they're going to be bringing.
Yeah, definitely. Their next match for Global Esports is going to be against Gen G. So this is a really tough way to end the group stage for Global Esports. But you know what? I don't think this is a situation like even 2 years ago, even last year. I think this is something that Global can achieve.
Yeah, I think their ceiling is high. It's just, can you make it work today? We have the agent picks coming in, and I want to focus on DRX first, running their double duelist they seem to be liking. And we're seeing Estrella on the Vice, freeing back on the Teo. So if you want to run double duelist, putting Estrella on the Senti makes the most sense. I quite like this from DRX.
GE starting defense side of their opponent's map pick are rocking the classic double Sentinel. Deadlock Cypher, very popular, used to be run with Yoru, but also has been run with Jet. So Patrick, who's got a lot of work to do on attack as an entering presence, you're going to see a lot of quick executes from them, but they need to get a lot of value off of this defensive side to start this game off.
All right, to take us through day 3 of week 3, it is two casters. You guys know them. It's Achilleos and Paper Thin.
Hello, it's us. You know us. We're two casters.
We are.
Just two casters.
Just two casters.
That's just it at the end of the day.
Chill guys. Yeah.
Two chill guys. Two chill matches here today. Perhaps we're hoping for things to be elevated a little bit here. We're hoping that we get some excitement from these series, but we have some very clear favorites. The desk was just talking about it. DRX, our kickoff champions, going up against Global. And for Global, this is a big one. If they are able to find a victory here, make this, even just a contentious series, then their odds of making it to the playoffs become stronger and stronger.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, GE can get it done here today. They're a team that has really strong fundamentals. They look like they are slowly but surely putting the pieces together. Patrick, who comes in, now you've got the full 5-man roster that you originally wanted to roll with, and at times they can look like they can contend with anybody in Pacific. So we're going to have to see if they can bring that in the server today. Obviously with DRX, there's the big change with Estrella. Him being on the Vice, that's his first time playing that agent. So this is going to be quite interesting to see with him. We're so used to seeing him on kind of like flash initiators or info initiators for the side of RRQ. A little bit of a different role that he's asked to slot into with now DRX leaning into this more double duelist heavy style that Flashback is picking up with the Yoru.
Alrighty, well, we're going to have the double duelist going up against the double Senti here on the side of Global Esports. First on the attack here is DRX. The barrier is now dropping. Patrick Koo out in mid. Sheriff in hand, catches a glimpse there. Some shots flying Hyunmin's way, but he's able to go ahead and just quickly drift back, freeing. Tiny bit of damage going to be taken, and Global Esports going to continue scaling forward, taking so much control over mid. And they've got 2 players that they can intercept over at Gelato.
Yeah, absolutely. But this should be noted by DRX. Shots did ring through by Poppy. A scrape of damage on the freeing.
Mako finding one, and he's eventually able to find the headshot, avoid taking damage. Poppy going to be caught off guard there from behind. Skellius is able to find Estrella. As mentioned, go ahead and put him down on the floor. Still a bit of a cutoff here from freeing. Does have the stealth drone, but now
just need to buy time.
Yeah, he's just going to continue to go ahead and keep him busy. Gets a suppress out, instant headshot. Salvo's going to be sent, will get caught on the timing there. Zutaton's able to find one, but now he's got to wait these out. In the meantime, it's all on Crystal versus 3 that are still sat here on the site. Time's already gone.
Yep.
All missiles away.
This is overall just incredibly well navigated from the side of DRX, and Mako in particular finding that opening, causing and disrupting so much of the game plan here. Causing chaos, I should say. As there you go at Team Ace in the first pistol, going the way of DRX.
And it's really cool to see Mako stepping up here. We know that he's still IGLing today. I think there was some question marks about that with Estrella coming over to DRX, you know, as he was a IGL previously in RRQ. Would he be taking over that role? No, it's still Mako, and Mako makes brilliant reads throughout this entire round. His ability to call for the accelerate towards A site after they identify the push out on the catwalk, and then his ability to re-clear that space, find that pick, get the plant down. Freeing buys a ton of time on the backside. That opens up so much for DRX there in that post plant. Beautifully navigated by DRX. No other way to slice it. That is a really just incredibly intelligent round.
Relatively standard purchase here for the side of DRX. That Vandal in with the Bulldogs. A stinger in the hands of Fring. Nothing but classics here for Global. As, Pixel out of place. A little bit of a warning shot there from Estrella over onto Patrick Koo, trading back some of that damage.
A little bit of patience being shown by DRX, trying to suss out a little bit more info.
Bit more taken here. I mean, Mako trying to draw some attention. He's got it. Pretty much everybody on the side of Global is here on this A site. Spike now going to be ushered across over towards B, where DRX will get ready to strike.
Mako might get caught here coming out of short. I'm kind of curious. There was a read from GE. They got Yudotan snuck into Wine, but instead they actually backpedal, expecting a re-aggression towards A. It's going to be Patrick Koo all on his own.
Yeah, just tail winning here into Boat. Store now going to be shut at Market. Stun connecting. Mako peeks in over towards window. He's able to find one. Patrick Koo can't quite hold the line here. Plant now coming in. Mako catching a glimpse of another player. Regen shield. We'll go ahead and push him back up to a 125. Yudotan going to be held at bay, just stuck in back behind the boxes for the moment. Needs to get closer so he can try to go down to the spike.
Let's just see how aggressive DRX wants to be. Or if they're just going to let those last 3 players go down. You're 1 away from flashback salts. You might just send him with that ghost. Yep,
Swap it over. Make sure you're not going to lose any of these weapons. Freeing salvos will claim 1. And getting the Armageddon online, also not going to be a bad shout at all. Elias Yudotan just tucked in around the corner. The cam is set up to go ahead and watch the approach here from flashback. Not dialed in on it. They obviously hear the footsteps, but yep, headshot will come through. Flashback will be able to go ahead and get that ult online as DRX, a very clean anti-eco, move up 2-0.
Yeah, I mean, everything looking very, very solid for DRX in the protocols, in the fundamentals, in the awareness. Great pick there by Mako. Able to just push his way up through short, find that freebie, and back on out. You know, with freeing back on the Tejo, you expect him to put tons of numbers up. He's so consistent on that agent. You know, one of the first adopters of Tejo in Pacific and one of the best leading into Masters Bangkok. See how they want to use this ult, or if they use it, on their bonus. Right now, though, more patience being shown. Quite a bit of control taken over at the other main as well by GE, so doing a good job of establishing their presence on the map and making things a little bit tricky for DRX in terms of finding an opening to set up their executes. Mako, there is a camera right around that corner. It is cleared. So good awareness by Mako. Oh, Estrella. Beautiful with the Bulldog.
Not ready yet.
And just Kelly S trying to do what he can to re-clear that space, but that's a painful loss. It is your duelist, so on the defender side, the Sentinel certainly maybe feeling a little bit more impactful. Crystal gonna get quite a bit of info there in mid with his drone. So he's already backing off. It's just gonna come down to Kelly S if he can win that duel against Estrella. Estrella already trying to flash him out. Yeah, he's got him. And he has to back off.
30 seconds
Ball
left.
is there, dimensional drift, looking to go ahead and score it forward. Hyunmin finding Kelly S. The lone anchor of this site now displaced. Triple approach from GE over towards Alley, but might just have to make the tough call to just go for the save here. You know that you're up against 5. Devastating though. Just hand over the bonus conversion. But unless they can find a pick in the next couple seconds, feels like they're just gonna have to back away, and yep, the call is made. They're gonna go ahead and slowly drift out of here. I rewound back, something didn't really sit right with me going into this round. That's why I was widely quiet here.
Yeah.
So I rewound on YouTube, and yeah, I didn't realize that Yudotan did not die to the spike in the eco round. The door was shut. It was planted at backside, so...
Oh, so he didn't get caught by it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a good catch.
Didn't notice at the moment, but I was like, something's weird. Why does he have a Guardian? Let me investigate. So, yep, some oddities already on display as DRX get the 3-0 start.
I just like, it's just one of those things where you just assume they're going to die to the spikes.
Yeah,
you just stop looking.
I was like, all right, moving on.
Yep.
Let's go into the bonus. Let's see the rifles.
Exactly. But this is so well played by Estrella. He's doing a great job in these 1v1s. Also using his utility to push Kelly S back to open up that space for Hyunmin to make his way onto the site and win that opening duel as well. So already Estrella finding some serious impact for DRX as this Sentinel. And again, an agent he's never played. This is his first time ever playing in an official match with Vice. And he's looking really, really solid in terms of his fundamentals. So, as you would kind of expect with DRX, they're a team that is just historically great at picking up players and getting them integrated into the system and consistently being threats no matter what event they're at. So, certainly for Global, going to be a bit of a toughie today. Some fans coming in all over the world as usual here at Pacific. Great time of year to be in Seoul as well. The cherry blossoms are blooming. The weather's nice.
Yeah, we're getting into some nice light jacket weather.
Yes.
And it's the calm before the storm that is the blistering summers. You walk outside and you feel like you're just immediately swimming through the humidity.
Yeah. It is not something I'm looking forward to. So I try to enjoy this time of year as much as possible. And so seeing a lot of people out in Seoul, just the jackets on today. Very, very nice, but Estrella still going to hold on to that Bulldog. He's been so good with it, and you're going up against a pseudo-eco. Of course, the gun's carried over from the save of GE, but trying to prioritize that orb. Going to be paranoid out. Kelly S. Trying to push forward. Is he going to use that wall to just clear the orb? Nope, just a sonic sensor pushed forward to keep track of DRX's movements. Trip the wall this time. I think that's something GE's been looking to do with that B main control, get rid of that Vice wall so they have a little bit more room to maneuver on the map potentially, or at least a threat of room to maneuver to keep DRX a little bit more honest. Sonic sensor is either tripped or cleared over there by Mako.
Orb does eventually get taken. Freeing going to be tucked in here behind the boxes, and I'm not sure if they're going to lend any credence to this. However, he is about to be encroached upon by multiple people, and hits the instant transfer, and oh my god, Freeing!
Jeez.
Have some mercy, son. They're on an eco. Does not care. Is now one away from that Armageddon here in death. Good lord.
I love Freeing, man. He's just so good.
Something else, but I mean, for Yudotan and Poppy, it's the same. It's the same thing. Walk away.
Just walk away. Yeah, it's tough. I mean, you just don't expect them to be there. I mean, DRX has done a great job of kind of understanding the map and where they can find the open space, where they can find those timings, and keeping track of GE's movements very, very well. You know, you would think with the Cypher in there, you might have a little bit of an advantage as GE, but DRX has done a really good job in the early part of the game, kind of feeling out how GE wants to play it. You know, Mako's doing a great job by himself controlling A main. If there's any util put out there, he's able to identify and eliminate it, and then kind of keep GE a little bit more off balance. So an operator going to be invested in now. Certainly feels like things got to turn around for Global Esports if they're going to get anything going on this map. Such a quick transfer there. Freeing just so ready. If there wasn't a fourth player there, he's probably walking away scot-free.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I half expected him to just go ahead and get the 4K.
It looked like he was going to.
Well, similar starts here, just sending out those missiles, trying to stave off any potential grab net combos over towards that B main. We can see that the deadlock is here at A. Flashback tucked into the corner. Poppy watching for this as Mako just jiggling around. Trying to see how they can break this Yoru out of here. Estrella on this lurk, though, finding one now, confirms position of another. Crystal swinging out. Almost gets that headshot lined up, but Crystal does manage to go ahead and come away with the kill. Space being refilled, and Crystal maintaining control of this B site.
Oh, this could be great timing. He just used the drone. Oh, they're gonna double back. Okay. Just checking his back quick. Was Mako maybe looking to see if there was anybody hot on their tail, but this could really work well for DRX. However, GE's reading this nicely. Really good job by Poppy. I mean, he's been aggressive the whole map. The whole game plan here for Poppy is just push through mid, find that info, and figure out where DRX is. Hasn't really worked out too well, but this round could go their way. Crystal's been so good in moments like this.
Salvos now sends them down. They have to just wide swing out a little bit further. Crystal able to find a third. Keeps it now into a 2v2. A bit of damage suffered. Patrick Koo able to find the shot there with the operator. Gets himself online. Mako trying to stick the plant. Does manage to draw off, finds one, but Op can be carried forward. And Global Esports will get themselves their first round win.
I can hear Kelly S down on the stage trying to rally the troops already. This is a much better round, even though Estrella gets that freebie. This time they've got the backup there to make sure that B main is clear. And good reading of the map. And it helps that Poppy finally are able to find some value out of those quick lurks that he's been trying to find the whole map. Crystal, good for 3. Very talented player. First 3 kills of the game. Now you've got a judge for Poppy, an operator still for Patrick Koo carried over. There's that grab net.
There's the net, flashback locked in position. Mako going to be taken down. Crystal just finding that kill top mid, peek out from bench. Gets the kill. Not sure if it was on the jiggle, if Mako was just swinging out. Either way, he is on the floor. Crystal continues to deliver here, finding value. Judge just around the corner here, playing off the one-way. Poppy. They try to open things up a bit. There it is, but flashback suffering some damage, but instantly finding the headshot, does manage to put him down.
That was nice by flashback. He's been trying to work into that corner after the initial utility exchanges to create that extra angle, since there's been so much pressure by GE and A main. And this time around, find some value. Not sure if they ever identified the operator in mid when it was there earlier, even though Patrick Koo has moved over. So you have to be a little bit diligent. Estrella, yeah. Or excuse me, flashback. Going on a tour. Already has a second dimensional drift.
Gets the spot out here, knows that Crystal widely is alone. Goes for the exit. A little bit of a crossfire. Nope, never mind. Coming. Doesn't need the intervention of flashback from boats. Just swoops in, finds the kill. Now plant down. It's another tough position to be in here for Global. As there you go, Armageddon. To start things off, it's going to usher them forward out into the site. Look at this, turn this into an absolute meat grinder. Yudotan does manage to answer back one. Now into the 1v2.
Oh, look at that TP.
3 bullets, needs to go for the reload here or swap the weapon. Spots out freeing, up close, the swing coming in, finds a headshot. Flashback there to go ahead and cover it up. Gets the kill, 3K for the Yoru. 2 more charges towards that next ultimate. DRX now up 5-1.
Yeah, and it just shows you why so many teams are leaning into Yoru. With that, you have so much ability to bypass a lot of the, especially Sentinel stuff that's going to be coming at you in terms of the trap wires and all that, and the sonic sensors, those kind of things. You can get that info for free and then set up a pinch if you can find that isolated player like you could with Crystal there and put him just in a nearly unwinnable spot. I mean, he has to go absolutely crazy there. Couldn't even find one because he was really trying to get a hold of his movement and his aim. Estrella again, gonna be on B main duty. Not too far away is freeing though. So could back him up.
There's the wall, some noise gonna be made. Swings off the flash. Comes away with one. Get a ton down to 28. Just able to escape and trade back the kill.
Yeah, it's okay. You don't give up the gun there. So for Estrella to go for the equal exchange, not the end of the world. And now it's going to be on freeing to kind of figure out what's going on. GE though, quickly making rotations to the other side of the map. Meanwhile, DRX
are matching.
Yep, doing the exact opposite. Little ring around the rosy here. Only a sheriff to speak of for GE's like beyond the classic weaponry. Freeing, gonna be the one keeping track of mid. And should be some kind of retake shaping up for Global Esports. And I mean, in theory, you do have the deadlock all. I mean, if you can find a kill with the Sheriff with Patrick Hu, you could maybe send it, put it into a potentially, you know, 3v2, 4v2. Anything's possible. Just got to get there first. I mean, DRX has been so aware, and they just might try to get ahead of the game a bit.
Well, 4 players clustered up once again, working their way over towards Alley. It's going to be a heavy stack, flashback. See if he's going to be able to collect any of these. Certainly the next ult they would want to cycle up. From the shadows, it's just 1 charge away. There you go, flashback able to find 1, looking for a little bit more. Crosshair slightly off. It's going to be Hyunmin to go ahead and gun down 3. 6-1, DRX not looking to give Global any freebies.
No. DRX is just so good at setting up these crossfires. Their post plants are so clean. There's very little to fault so far in what they've done on this map. You know, GE, to their credit, I feel like is doing their best to fight for some of this control of the map, but they're losing a lot of the individual duels, especially at B main. At the very worst, Estrella is getting 1 before he gets traded. And so that's kind of setting them off balance, and they're making a lot of plays for A main that don't really amount to much. You know, we saw the grab net to try to grab them, and the flashback was able to avoid that, and then, you know, find the kill onto Poppy's Judge. Like, all these little plays and tricks that they're trying to use just haven't really come to fruition. Here goes a big execute. Oh no.
I mean, they knew Poppy was there. They couldn't quite find him initially, but Kelly S just spraying across, blinding both duelists. Mako similarly on the floor. Annihilation gets the grab, Estrella being pulled to his demise. And that's going to be Estrella.
Last player standing.
Or freeing, rather. Freshly here in main to try to see if he can drag this back, but the shots are going to be very off. Yudotan will go ahead and pick up the pieces, and Kelly S, I believe, just through the smoke, managing to kill 2. We'll see if there's a ping reveal. But either way, great round for Global, much needed.
Yeah. I mean, there's a quick TP in from flashback. Hyunmin dashes in.
Nope.
Nope, just in the smoke.
Oh, what is that? Second kill.
Jeez. I mean, he saw one of the bullet tracers, so I guess you could say it, but still, that's ridiculous. I mean, sometimes it do be like that. I mean, that's the gamble you're taking on those fast executes. I like it, though, from DRX, because you've been so good at winning the more methodical rounds. Show him a different change of pace. Patrick Hu again out in mid. Oh, just misses the timing.
Doesn't find it. Hyunmin going on a peek and winning out 1. Kelly S there to go ahead and get some covering fire, gets the trade back. So 1 for 1.
Well, you got another dimensional drift. And flashback has been great at finding the timings and the openings for DRX with that. Plus you have Estrella's ult for the post plant with the Steel Garden. So if you can get there, it's going to be tough. And again, GE seemingly just not reading the map correctly here. There isn't a ton of information, but they have to re-clear this space at B. They just have no idea. Since they evenly exchanged that mid battle and decided to back off. Here goes the ult, but this is they're aware of this.
Yeah, now hearing the dimensional drift, they haven't fully confirmed. As the jump out will readjust for flashback. It's just nasty. Kelly S going to be noted there at Heaven. Flashback wanting to maybe push up and find a little bit more. Here's the break of the window as Poppy now arrives. Steel Guard, beautiful. Yep, just going to be layered in. Knives go out from Patrick Hu, up and over the top of the smoke. He's able to find 1. The headshot connecting. Flashback going to be taken down. Thorns just trying to keep him locked in place, and no one from DRX given the opportunity for the peek, and then Freeing is able to collect the kill.
1 enemy remaining.
Instantaneous. It's Freeing so damn clean. Mako similarly. picking apart Kelly S. DRX. I mean, they have their eyes on double digits. They're looking for 10 rounds in the half.
For sure. The way they're playing, looks like they might get it. So you get the exchange. Flashbacks, yeah, like you said, so fast to readjust. I mean, I like the little tic-tac-toe game here with the ultimates. You throw the Vice ultimate, well, you pop the blades, get a kill. However, it's even better placement as well of the Razor Vines from Estrella right there to slow him down. And then that's a pretty easy one for freeing. And now you're back to a mostly eco. And okay, well, Patrick Hu with the hero rifle.
The early aggression paying off for them. Out there B main, but now the A side is completely opened up. Primed for the taking. Paranoia goes across on the Poppy, just at Sheriff. As he tucks away underneath the window, freeing.
They're pinging it.
Oh, waiting. Seems like, yeah, they have a solid enough read on it, but can they outwit him? Can they outgun him? Freeing, still able to come away with 2. Kelly has an opportunity, a weapon in hand. This flashback swinging around the side, looking to intercept. Does he get there fast enough? No. Swaps over to the knife as Kelly S breaks down the door. Does he go for the knife? Seems like the answer's going to be no, but I think he's about to catch both players. Yeah, finds Poppy, just TPs back over in towards main, and now it's Kelly S by himself. Quick little flash out, offsets for a moment there as Herman will fall. The DRX continue to maintain a chokehold on this map.
I love the way that Flashback and DRX are using this Yoru. They're being extremely patient, finding good timings to use those TPs, either to create an extra off angle or, you know, show some presence somewhere and then go somewhere else to keep your opponents off guard. Obviously, the ults have been brilliant. They've been completely round-changing every time that he's used them. And Flashback has looked sharp as well in terms of his aim. Freeing is freeing on Tejo. This is everything you could want as DRX. Going on your map pick. Looking so good on this side. Estrella this time getting aggressive. Oh my God.
Just a one tap to put him on the floor. Now the follow-up, Yuratan dead as well.
Jeez.
Welcome back, Estrella. Looking incredible as Youngman just trying to quickly escape, gets his way across in towards tiles and out to safety. Tucked back, and now they're gonna have to try to fight their way through this jet. As the ball contained to Poppy is up to the challenge. Quickly sits him down.
Planted.
Flashback has another ult. Just so you know.
Yeah, 4th and a half.
Yep.
Still one more round to be played out. Player advantage. Think he's going to look to save it for 12 here, unless things get into dire straits. But Salvo's further delaying this approach. Kelly S trying to swing around to get over towards Ali, the stealth drone.
Armageddon.
There to maybe try to spot him. Time in the meantime is just ticking away. Poppy with another critical kill as Estrella will fall. Flashback taken down. An opportunity here is freeing. Caught at a timing. It all comes down to Mako, and he cannot make it happen. The Armageddon was sent, but it's not going to be able to provide enough cover. So Diffuse comes in, and that's going to be Global, getting themselves a 3rd round win in the half.
Well, this is very confusing to me. And I'm going to talk about freeing here. Doesn't send his ult into B main.
Sure.
After the salvos, they know there's players there. This is ridiculous from Estrella. Continues to just be a monster there at B main. Okay, fine. You know there's at least a couple over there, and there's a kill that comes out, and Freeing just sits on his ult. He uses the salvos. I'm not sure if he was thinking some kind of post plant or what, but it all just crumbled in a heartbeat because GE just stormed in there and was hitting their shots. Credit where credit's due. GE played that really nicely.
A bit of poor judgment there, perhaps. Either way, 3rd round win. It's just looking for the net and salvos. DRX able to bait these out and avoid them. As Sonic Sensor just going to be repositioned and triggered.
Yeah, you really want to either avoid the deadlock or use Flashback's ult to get rid of it. Well, Freeing's going to trade.
And across the way.
Who's next?
I'll be able to trade that back out here. Keep it in a 1-for-1. Flashback, mask on, dimensional drift in place. Spots that one. He does not turn around. I don't think he actually saw Kelly S, and he tucked back into the smoke. I mean, they have to know that the deadlock is going to be nearby, but I don't think they ever got full confirmation on him either way. Estrella certainly has as he finds 2. Kelly S and Poppy both going to be taken down. Now just Yuratan and Patrick Hu to try to see if they can make this 8-4, rescue the half as much as they possibly can. But this is the double sentinel. This is where they should be. This is the side that they should be finding a good amount of value on. But Flashback has widely undone everything for them.
30 seconds left.
TP in. The re-swing, Yodotan able to go ahead and win out that fight. Flashback here from Heaven. Takes down the Jet, the neural depth getting the reveal. 3 players to try to fight through here for Yodotan. Spots at the first, Mako on the wider swing, shut down. No further damage suffered here from Yodotan. Thorns pop the tap of the spike. He's dancing around it here. They know that he's not sticking it. They know that it's not getting up towards half.
Rip and tear.
There's just more Thorns at his feet. Locks him in position, and DRX. Yeah, they look like they're having fun with it. 9-3 at the half. Dominance here from DRX.
Yeah. Really, really good game plans, especially behind the Yoru. I mean, it helps that Flashback is 12-6, but it's a lot of the way that he's using his util, using those ults. They're cycling them quickly. They're prioritizing him on the ult orbs. Everything you want to be doing with the min-maxing game with the Yoru is very well thought out. I mean, only slight missteps here or there for DRX. A lot of the time, GE just looked like they were guessing at what DRX was doing. They couldn't really get good reads. They were going to the wrong side of the map. Even with that heavy Sentinel composition, DRX's Mako still doing a great job of keeping them off balance with the macro gameplay.
DRX win $10 for the ticket, $500 for the flight and the hotel. Welcome to Korea.
Heck yeah.
Hope you're enjoying your time. And if you're a fan of, Korean Valorant, today's a relatively good day for that.
True.
Yeah, T1 and DRX, 2 of the heavy hitters in the region. And for Global, a lot to try to walk back here. Curious to see how they're going to look to utilize the double Sentinel as they move over onto the attack.
For sure. It's one of those situations where it feels like with Deadlock that if you can get to the post plants, it's a nightmare to get through, right? That wall is so stupid. It's so annoying. But it's getting there that's going to be the interesting thing. That's going to be the problem, especially with how good individually the DRX players have looked, especially like Estrella, with the way he's been able to solo lock down B main. Trying to get to those post plants in the first place looks like it's going to be challenging, but you never know. Sometimes you switch halves, you switch sides, and everything's just a little bit different. You can shake off what happened in that first half, no problem. There's going to be a lot of ghosts for GE, 1 Sheriff for Flashback for DRX. For now, it's just going to fall back. Oh, Hyunmin.
Right up here alongside the smoke, the push in. He's just going to get overwhelmed. Does manage to find the headshot to put Poppy down to 20 HP, but loses his life. Freeing similarly tagged up. Over at short now down to 40. Flashback TPing back across, gets his way over towards Alley. And right now, Global widely slowed up. Freeing, considering going for the peak, thinks better of it. Sends up the stealth drone, spots out 1. Poppy going to be finished off as Estrella able to find the kill here from backstairs into market.
Kelly S was in Narnia looking for a lurk. Mako seemingly somewhat aware that it could be possible.
Oh, just forgetting. It would seem that there's a player in that position. Estrella goes for a re-peek. He's able to find Patrick Hu.
He's been solid, to say the least, coming in here for DRX today.
Oh, Mako, that slow peek in. Able to avoid getting caught, the net not going deep enough. Kelly S, however, swings around and loses the fight.
30 seconds left.
Mako puts him down. The salvo's now coming through. That's going to be a big chunk there on the Yodotan as Mako recovered Ghost. Utilizes it here against Global Esports. Once again, Yodotan, last one standing. 49 health in a 1v4. Flashback. Oh my God.
My.
Okay. Finds the headshot. DRX find another pistol. They find themselves now 10-3 in the lead.
I was curious who they were going to give the orb over to, give the ult charge to. It's going to be Estrella. A couple big kills. Mako is Mako. The way he plays that in Garden is so good. Just the re-peek there to figure out, okay, are they actually pushing? And it actually gets the grab net to come out as well. And then he's able to win that fight up in heaven. Just absolutely ridiculous. Just outplaying Kelly S the whole way through. And that's so snappy from Flashback.
Crisp. Well, a situation that we've seen GE in a handful of times so far here throughout the year. A final time I'll call, as the odds are very much stacked up against them.
Is this some kind of force buy, set play?
I mean, that's what we'll have to wait and see. You know, or is it once again, one of those kinds of conversations about, okay, this is their map pick. Let's focus up and just get ready for Split, where we're going to feel a lot more comfortable, where we can really, enact our game plan. Could be something like that. And, again, to their credit, we have seen GE, not last week, but previously, we have seen them rally back from some very rough starts.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. There's tons of talent on this team. We know that. We know how good they can be. And Elevated's really getting animated in there, letting them know earlier. And I think they could do it. I don't have any doubts that they can. I really like this GE team, but against DRX, who is just so incredibly well drilled, and Mako, who's reading the macro game insanely well. Estrella comes in here and looks like he hasn't missed a beat since switching teams. The flashback is playing out of his mind.
also not Mr. B playing the Vice. It's the first time he's playing Vice.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this is such a tough situation to find yourself in as GE.
Falling. Poppy now. Last one standing as the round quickly ends. 11-3. Economy broken down. DRX. 2 losses. But Widely still in a strong position. Outlaw still going to be carried forward, handed back over to Flashback. And it's going to be those singers once again for the side of Global Esports.
Yeah, you're flipping the coin a bit here as the side of GE. If you can find the weaker site, if you can find the 2 and the 2-3 split. A lot of times teams maybe run 2B, 1 mid, 2A, and therefore A might be the weaker side, but with all that Vice util there and the Outlaw, just really tough for GE to get through. Decent salvos to back off freeing.
Doesn't take damage, but forces his position. Hyunmin, he's just taking pot shots. I mean, they can't get anything. They can't get anything for free. Hyunmin, you're up 11-3. They have stingers.
Remaining.
And you just killed 3 through a smoke? Have you no shame? Have you no sense of mercy?
No. He is like...
No morality, no soul?
It's like Joaquin Phoenix in Gladiator. Just thumbs down. Just absolutely not
the
having
first
any
one,
of it.
okay.
Sure, but then he gets the ping reveal and then just sprays him through the wall. I mean... Yep. It's just great, you back the Tejo off, you think that might give you enough space to try to work your way through mid, and Freeing just re-clears that space. He has so much confidence, throws the drone through, gets the spot for Hyunmin, and that might have just been mapped. Have to see. It's full rifles for GE. So good luck.
Oh. Unscopes it just before the swing in, so just a tiny bit of damage going to be taken there from Flashback. Freeing, he gets tagged up though, down to 43.
That timing there, very fortunate for GE. All those players have half armor. If he had stayed scoped in, he might have got 1, who knows, maybe more.
Gun barrel spotted. Just keeping it quiet. Hyunmin, same position, saying, hey, maybe I can do it again. This time, does get sat down. Flashback is looking to try to get some shots in from behind, though, and he's going to be able to do so. Kellyes.
That was full armor, too.
Yeah,
he got the headshot.
Yeah, hits the head. Mako now really looking to make it as miserable as humanly possible. Has a judge around the corner here at Tree. The swing coming in. 1-2 on the floor. Split. Now just 2 kills away.
Remaining.
Unbelievable.
And Poppy will fall just down to Yudotan once more to try to see if he can make anything happen here. The 1v4 to extend it, to cut the lead to 42. And he's just going to get spammed out, it seems. Gonna push in. There you go. 3 kills for Mako. 3 rounds for Global Esports on ascent. 13-3 the scoreline as DRX showing up to play. The double duelist composition looking magnificent.
To say the least. And so much of this game is just predicated on Flashback really piloting that Yoru incredibly well on the attacker side. Great game
Sentinel comp, you just bypass all that util. You run straight through it. You're not going to trigger any of the sensors. You're not going to trigger any of the traps. And they were just able to really snowball their ultimates to keep that first half rolling forward for them and build up such a big lead.
Yeah, for sure. Just being able to, rather than the slower approach of something like a Sova drone, and you have to run those kind of more kind of set executes or take your time clearing traps with things like the Shockeys, which is not even really that good against things like Deadlock Wall, maybe a little bit more effective against Cypher. Like you said, streaming these Yoru ults back to back to back on the attacking half, I mean, it's one of those ults that, as a coach, as an IGL, you can really just call rounds around it. Whenever I get a Yoru,
round.
It plays itself. You get a Yoru ult and the round essentially plays itself. And a lot of the time, it informs your call so well on the attacking side that a lot of the time, your early to mid round can't even really be bad. A lot of the time, if the round's going to fall apart, it's in the late round, the XVX, the post plant.
Yeah, so as well with GE before, we saw Patrick Hu trying to play this Yoru. You know, clearly the coaching staff, I think, understand the power of that Yoru, but swapped him across back to Jet for comfort. So I think comfort is important, but that's what you're missing out on in that Yoru. If you have an effective Yoru like DRX were able to run, it just gets you round after round after round.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, we've seen this happen on other squads as well, including Astrea's former squad, RRQ, with the Yoru on this same exact map.
And credit to Flashback. Like, where the hell did this come from?
Yeah.
He'd never played this kind of agents before, and then DRX was just like, I think we'll try this. This can be a new style. This dude is just owning every game on Yoru. He's just getting better and better.
Yeah, for sure. Now, this was a really short map, but I think we have a couple other things we want to highlight.
Yeah, so I think Estrella played a fantastic game, and I think a big part of it was on this attack side in understanding the kind of his job in the default, right? So he's responsible for B main and how DRX have this set up. And one thing he was really, really good at is he would always manage to get one pretty much consistently across the board. He's playing in different positions, he's mixing up his util, and he's managing to get kills and trade out in this B space. So going 1-for-1 as an attacker is actually a nice advantage because the defenders have to cover the same amount of map with less players creating more holes for you as an attacker. So really big shout out to Estrella. I feel like you know, he did well statistically, but I really liked how he approached this game. He clearly understood DRX's game plan and was able to execute it smoothly.
Yeah, he had a great game, and I think that shows trust from the coaching staff. You will have a Senti player who, on the attack side default, will feed. It's one of the worst things that you can have happen is have your player on the wing lose their life and give a lot of information and space over to the defense. The best Senti players do what Estrella just did, being able to poke and prod, be unpredictable, be able to find openers and read the rotations and things like that. So the fact that he's been let off the leash shows a degree of trust from DRX's coaching staff and their overall, you know, team, I would say. But also, I'm not surprised to see him on the Vice, because when I think about Australia, I associate him with things like Viper. You know, when you play that on defense as a pseudo sentinel with a set wall, that's something that you can be used to. Also, using the arc rows, he's used to playing flashy nets and things like that. So that's a piece of utility that he's going to be very comfortable with. So honestly, Vice does not seem like a bad fit for this player, if you ask me.
Well, I can see why they trusted him. Let's take a look at his stats again so we can admire his debut with DRX on the Vice.
Yeah, 15-7, you know, he's able to take those fights and he's winning a huge amount of them. So big respect to Estrella, you know, like, I was talking about this pre-show that I was a doubter of kind of seeing these changes in DRX, but I think, you know, after watching them play this double duelist style, I really don't mind it. If he's going to kind of stay consistent in this role, if they want to keep running more double duelist, then I can kind of see why this change makes sense. And I think, as well, now Estrella's not having to IGL like he was on RRQ, we can expect that higher level of individual play from him.
Yeah.
Sure. And he's speaking Korean.
Yeah, that helps a lot.
It just actually, now that it's happened, it does all fall in place and seem to make a ton of sense.
I'm sorry, Turby. I shouldn't have doubted you. That's my fault. I'm sorry.
It's been good this year. I mean, there's some people who still don't believe, even if you make it to the international event.
That's true.
And you win bloody Pacific. People are like, that Turmy guy's absolute fraud. What does he need to do? Do we need to win the World Championship?
Stop being a coach. I mean, you just end up on here with me.
Yeah. I mean,
but
this is your punishment, Turmy. You start losing games.
All right, well, map 2 will be global esports pick, okay? Ascend was DRX's map pick. I don't know if the map pick will change things very much, but the whole point is that it should. So going into Split, what do you guys think?
I mean, I think their Split has looked better. I do think they've had good showings on Split overall, so I think you can be a little bit more optimistic if you're a GE fan, but once again, it's still tough. It's still DRX you're against. It doesn't matter.
that, you know, they won't be making the same mistakes. In theory.
And see the best out of these individual players. They've got a very interesting looking roster. You didn't see anything, unfortunately, from them on towards the Ascent game, which DRX flicked against them. Here is their map pick, and indeed we will see them actually allowed to start on defense by DRX. DRX is picking the attacking side, and they are once again playing double duelists. You're going to get Marco over onto the Viper instead of Estrella, which is interesting because Viper is a very comfortable role for Estrella. He's going to be playing the Omen instead. I would not have picked that as the pairing of the controllers.
Yeah, that seems like an interesting way round for me. Across on the side of GE, they're sticking with Deadlock Cypher. This is a style that this team have been running for a long time. I do think Deadlock is underused, to be honest, so I like that they're trying to make it work, but they need to be stronger than it was in that Ascent game, because I didn't feel like they managed to get much value out of the Deadlock there.
All right, well, this game is very important for Global. Reset what just happened and bring it back for Split. We're going to send it back to our casters, Achilleos and Paperthin.
Thank you very much. Yes, let's see if they're going to be able to have that recovery. It's been talked about ad nauseum. When you get blown out on an opening map, a lot easier to recover compared to playing a much closer map. GE, they've done it before. I think it was 13-3 back in kickoff when they were able to recover after a loss on Abyss.
Yeah, to DFM, yeah.
And they were able to rally back. So they've shown that they have the capability of it. We know the quality of player that they do have. One of the things that we need to be seeing is a bit more confidence from them. But already, first blood going to be found. Flashback taking down Patrick Hu, but Freeing and Flashback both end up falling. So the fight in mid very much goes the way of Global. I could have called it the Battle of Mid. Missed opportunity.
Ooh. You had it right there in the palm of your hand.
Right in front of my face, and I just absolutely beefed it. Gunman facing in, taking quite a bit of damage here. Repeaks. Orb just going to be picked up. As the paint shell has not thrown it, we'll be able to find one more elimination. Stray and Mako in the meantime scale their way up forward into mid, now drop down onto the site. And can go ahead and smoke off Garage, so they know that they've got two players either in behind or in Garage. And they have a pretty good suspicion of Yudotan as well.
And Mako's trying to find Yudotan. It's going to be onto Estrella to watch these two players at Garage. A tough challenge for him. Still has a paranoia, though. Haunt being thought about.
Cover going out.
Not spotting. Estrella trying to line up these shots. Eventually he's able to find it there with him near the final bullet. Mako now. Last one left. Here's the footsteps. He's approaching in from behind there, not watching for it at all. Mako striking, gets him off the spike. The push coming through, and Yudotan just able to find the headshot before Mako can swing back around the other side of the pillar. If he gets that little maneuver off, this round is done and dusted, but instead it's going to be Global picking up their first pistol win.
Oh yeah, Mako there went around the world and almost stole this round away. Player advantage in mid there for GE, and they're able to capitalize, win the 2v1. An exchange there for Hyunmin. Like you said, sitting on that paint shells, I thought maybe you could throw it to delay it a little bit, but after to just go for the fight. Yudotan, a huge win there. A big morale boost for Global Esports.
A very rare missed clutch attempt there from Mako, but you're pointing it out. Yeah, there's an outlaw in play with full armor behind it here for Hyunmin.
Now hold the phone.
Mako playing as the selfless IGL. They're just waiting any kind of jiggle peek here, but Nebula goes up. Poppy maybe having some kind of sneaking suspicion that there's going to be a little bit more firepower behind here.
It just is so Mako to just be that selfless. The gentle giant gives the gun over to his teammates.
It's not only that, but also Flashback has full armor.
That's true.
Maybe it's in case Hyunmin dies, so they have somebody else that can pick up the outlaw and have full armor.
That could be.
Well, they just want him to be able to survive if he slides forward in the face of somebody.
Yeah, maybe it's just, you know, using the Neon as the living drone to try to break through. Look at these trips, though. That one right there at the front of sight, really tricky.
Yeah, Cage right on top of it as well.
Yep, that's something a lot of the Cyphers have been talking about. Foxy9 was talking about it the other day in the post-match interview. Yudotan is going to find Mako. Hyunmin, oh, he's gone too.
I was considering the swing out, but will just be Hyunmin taking down. Freeing does manage to find a trade back. The weapon be picked up. The answer is yes, and maybe the game plan is going as they had hoped here. Is Flashback. Oh,
the timing.
Yep. Snatches that up. Net gonna fall short here, not able to find too much. Flashback, scopes in, gets the shot, but now Spike on the floor. Flashback hounded down, and it is just Estrella.
10 seconds left.
Try to see if we can get anything done. Smoke blooming the plant. Just gonna be stuck. And yep, Hands and Spike gonna be seen. So Poppy able to go ahead and collect that one. So 2 casualties on the side of Global Esports. But they also say, well, thanks for the outlaw.
Yeah. Oh, that puts you in a really tricky position as DRX. Trying to get those full armors, knowing that your opponent's gonna have that outlaw. And with some of the players investing extra cash into that round, you're gonna be able to come through with at least 3 rifles. See what it looks like behind that. Couple with full armor. Okay, so yeah, a Sheriff in full armor, and then Hyunmin is just gonna have the light armor. So if you're gonna run into that outlaw as Hyunmin, well.
Oh my god. Hell of a reveal. Something about DRX and just not clearing scan utility versus Filipino teams. Shoutouts to Secret on Haven from years ago. Freeing able to find one. Flashback does get taken down. Crystal able to come away with that. As Cage gets popped. Oh, missing each other like ships in the night. Yutan trying to double back in, but then Estrella is waiting for him at elbow. Things start getting away from them just a little bit, but Kelly's arriving. Finds one. Net getting a minor grab there onto Mako. 3v3 and any further damage found would be very solid. And there you go, Poppy able to find one, finds 2 now. In a position to go ahead and just close out the round. And yeah, split attention, Hyunmin. Not sure which way to aim. Global. They're going to convert this bonus. 3-0 start here on Split, and that's the rally back we're talking about.
Yeah, this is just so nice. I mean, the timing on that haunt just gives everything away for DRX, and they're immediately trying to find their flanks. Our Global Esports. Crystal, oh, unbelievable. With the classic, just steps out and finds one. Yudotan, it was everybody, all hands on deck for DRX to make sure he was cleaned out. Poppy, so good in moments like this. And then able to double face there right as the poison cloud is dissipating. Really nicely drawn up by GE. A bunch of stingers for the side of DRX, full rifles, a couple ults as well. Annihilation and the Cosmic Divide if necessary for GE. Trying to turn up the tempo.
Well, Flashback just didn't check in behind, so Kelly is able to come away with a free one. Poppy, here's backside damage dealt. Starts to get overwhelmed, but still going to be good for another kill. Mako tries to scale forward, tries to catch Crystal off guard, but wise to it. Picks him apart, Estrella now desperately trying to reposition, TPs in towards backside. Scoops with the Vandal, the pressure being applied. Estrella out, last one alive. 1v2 with Crystal low on HP, nearly lining up here for him, but Yudotan last alive. Gets that 4-0 start, and it's similar scenes to what we were seeing from DRX on Ascent.
Yeah, and they try to go for the fast hit, and Freeing just doesn't check that corner. It's a trade and then a gun upgrade for DRX. And then everybody else from the side of GE is quick to get over here. Still sitting on Annihilation and a Cosmic Divide. Okay, Estrella, good for one.
All going to be sent, but I think it's a little bit of a whiff. It does not cut off Garage. Mako lurking, readjusts, second shot connects. Kelly S on the floor, and Mako says, yep, I'm satisfied with that. Reroutes back through sewer. It's going to be a world away from the rest of his team, but given the player advantage, should be relatively safe. And now Global Esports constantly have to be looking over their shoulders for this Viper.
Spike planted. Them down.
You're going to use that Tejo util to try to keep people at bay, allow Estrella to shift over to Garage, but he's kind of turning his attention back and forth, timing.
Swing in, Patrick Hu able to win out the fight. Showstopper is online. They're still against some weaker weaponry. Does he decide to pull the trigger on this ultimate? The drop down, Yudotan going to be felled there. Swinging from Hyunmin, finding another. Now it's all down to Patrick Hu. Freeing, just able to escape. The paint shell going to go his way. Swings forward, ends up dying. Patrick Hu needing to win the fight. He's able to find that kill on the Hyunmin. Maybe it would be clutchable, but DRX will be able to find their first round victory here on this attack.
Well, it really seems like quick decision-making is the name of the game here for DRX on their attacker side on Split. It's just that opening kill onto the B site. I mean, there was one in mid, of course, as well with Mako, but once Estrella found that kill on site, it is just everybody rush through. You get in there and take that space, scale forward, and get ready for the plant. And they're just barely able to get through it. There was hope there for Patrick Hu. A lot of players weak. Use the Tejo utility to clear the corner, Boombot to clear front. And immediately a couple players from GE trying to tuck in. They're on a weaker buy already after winning 5 in a row.
Mako holding the line for one. Yudotan able to go ahead, push forward. That's going to be a weapon picked up. As Kelly S finds Estrella. The rest of the team trying to push their way forward here into the site. Flashback barely able to go ahead and draw out the weapon, stabilize to find that kill. Showstopper going to be sent. Clips the corner of the pillar. Kill not found for there. Things now grinding to a halt. 3v3 with Flashback dangerously low.
Just how are you going to check this corner?
Drop down. Solid damage dealt. That's going to be a timing from Yudotan. Showstopper sent up into heaven, finds it. The puppy is there now. Comes down to Flashback.
Puppy has no idea.
It's going to be left guessing. He's playing it patiently, but Flashback can just sit tight. Here's the footsteps now. Catches a glimpse of him. Knows that he's not going to be going for any kind of defuse, so finds the headshot to be able to go ahead and drag this round across the line. DRX, a second one.
I just absolutely scrappy there. Yudotan, nice job. Again, GE always is coming at you in pairs. So I really like the way that they're focusing on the teamwork here on this defender side. Yudotan had a tremendous round, just got clipped by that Showstopper. So he tried to back out around the corner. Great patience shown by Flashback. Cutting sound, waiting that out, and using it against his opponents very, very nice.
Whoa.
This is a really early Cosmic Divide. This has got to send your danger senses tingling. What the heck is this?
Well, stray shots over towards Yudotan and Flashback. Barrel stuffing. A spot out as I don't know.
I'm not sure.
Player standing. Out of charges.
It feels like there should be some kind of set play off the back of that, and DRX was just
I thought,
ahead of it?
I thought there was going to be like more aggressive positioning, scaling forward into mid, trying to get that control.
And be Garage, because it cut off through there, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then
it didn't. I don't know. I could see if there's some kind of plan behind it. Maybe they just couldn't execute it for some reason. Maybe there was some piece of util that slowed things up that they weren't expecting. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Well, not sure about the cook on this one.
Recipe needs a little work.
Yeah. That being said, though, it's going to be a third round pickup for the side of DRX as they try to streak their way back into this game. Global Esports still in a solid enough position as Kelly S and Freeing missing each other just a bit.
Should be nothing that comes of that. The big problem here for GE is that you're forking over the economy game because of that. So they're anticipating aggression. It just doesn't come in the spots that they're expecting. They try to slow push through that wall, and Estrella's right there. Well, it is what it is, but the concern now is that you're back on an eco. You're going to have a judge and one hero rifle. Pockets are getting a little bit deeper for DRX. Still have a couple ults to work with, too. Annihilation, though, for Kelly S. Could find some value here. There's 3 players stacked right outside of B. We're looking for some kind of trap play, I think, off this grab net. You could do like grab net into gravity well, into paint shells. It could be really annoying for DRX.
Does have that Annihilation on the back as well.
True.
So yeah, I mean, you can see just waiting to try to spring this trap. Question is, does anybody from DRX really fall into it? They're just going to go ahead and swing onto the corner. The paint shell now going to be lobbed in. Gunman going to be able to find one. The net being removed. It is going to be DRX who are able to trade up as Kelly S also gets taken down. Patrick Koo able to avoid getting stunned. Flashback comes sprinting at him. Lightning Fingers in play. Crystal brings that to a very quick close. But that Judgment then has to reposition and needs quite a bit of damage. Down to 47. Now going to be caught out at range there by Estrella. Yudelton, last one alive. No weapons recoverable here for him.
I don't think you'd
find
use
any
the
real
pit.
value here.
Yeah.
Oh, no, you don't use the pit.
Please don't.
Okay, does manage to find one. Has to reload it, though, and on the Jiggle Peak knows that he's dead. 4 to 5. Thrifty not coming to fruition. Global Esports still in with an opportunity to go back into a buy round. Get back into the driver's seat here and establish a dominant half.
Yeah, I like the ideas early. Oh, they're able to clear that Annihilation. Great use of the Tejo util to clear the back of pillar to get that Judge out of there. I was kind of wondering, I quickly scanned towards the util once that Judge was identified, how DRX was going to be able to handle it. By the time I saw, the salvos were already out from freeing. So little things like that, protocols that DRX has, so good. Kelly S trying to get ahead of that smoke. A little bit of damage towards Patrick Hu. Again, DRX so happy to contest for this. Oh my God.
All right. Just brutality. Clearly, I mean, I think what they've been drilling is Mako's just been teaching everybody how to get kills through smokes.
Yeah, that's true.
Speaking of Mako, Ted over here, continuously noted in this A main position.
Should know it's B though. With that Prowler not finding anyone, even sends out a second. But DRX
gonna make him think
ahead of the game. Yeah, got to be careful with the footstep noise. Had Crystal stayed there, he might have gotten wise to it, but he backed off. So
able to stay tucked away.
wow, the timings.
Crystal, ooh, I was gonna say, going to be the major hurdle that they have to leap. The Nightfall is gonna go across. It's gonna connect on to damn near all of them. Quick reveal out, but Paint Shells pushes him away from the window. Forces him back deeper into heaven. There's the spike now. Just trying to assess, it seems, where they really want to plant this. Instead, it's gonna be the back corner. Freeing off the back of this, does have that Armageddon now online.
Go ahead.
There it is.
Sends it towards screens. That's gonna filter everyone in towards heaven now, and they're going to be filling screens on the back of this. Yudelton able to find the first, however. Estrella finding back, finding two. Neural Depth reveals all, but freeing does not matter. Does not care about that. Finds the final 2 kills, and we are tied up at 5 to 5.
Just again, brilliant back row stuff from DRX where they're able to get the read. You know, Mako dies, a couple Prowlers go out, and Mako is like aware that, you know what, maybe this is actually the weaker side, potentially. They've been getting a little bit of contact over in the other parts of the map. They probably think this is B off of just the solo kill on Mako. Let's rotate back over to A, and it is 100% the right call. It's things like that that are really showing how much progress Mako has made as an IGL and how just smart this whole squad is. The coaching staff so well prepared for their opponents. GE, what looked like it was going to be maybe another fast map, send it over to map 3, is now all of a sudden 5 in a row for DRX, and it's tied up. Oh boy.
Yeah, a last-ditch timeout call here before closing out the half. Global, I mean, if they can pick up the next 2 rounds, 7 to 5, I'm not going to feel too bad about that, just given this double duelist setup from the side of DRX. They should be finding value when it comes down to the attack. You were able to deal with it so well those first 5 rounds, and even play them close in some of the ones following up behind that.
Yeah.
But it's going to be another thrifty attempt. Try to see if they can at least get to 6.
Hyunmin's got an outlaw again. Full armor for Patrick Hu. Everybody else will be within 1-tap range. Crystal's going to go for another judge right at the front of B door.
That's a glass cannon, judge of that. Boombot will go ahead and let him know. And actually, no, Poppy does clear it out with the Sheriff.
This smoke has to be sending alarm bells in your head.
Yeah.
It's way deep.
So leave Hyunmin back around the corner. He could just paint shell if they really have a strong idea of it. Looks like they don't. As goodbye. Goodbye.
Spike down.
That's the spike. Crystal not in control, and Mako, once again, noted. GE, a very solid read on this round. Only 1 shell left here for Crystal. Here's the weapon getting picked up. Spike as well. He's going to be sending out the C's nade. Looking for the grab, freeing. Tiny bit of damage there. Relay to try to clear the corner, the slide in, flashback able to find one. Crystal going to be dealt with, the salvo into the corner as well. Freeing, flushes out Patrick Hu. 2v3, Poppy around the corner, the Sheriff in hand, looking for the headshot, cannot find it. Freeing just a little bit faster, but Yudotan, Stinger at that range, still able to find the damage. Just the kill on the flashback. Gives them a winning chance, and there you go. Kelly S recovered. Vandal pushing forward, catches him off guard, and Global will be able to pull it off. Down in weapons and economy, but still winning out the round and getting themselves up to 6.5.
Yeah, just not really being able to sense that trap where DRX kind of aware that maybe somebody could be in B main, but not quite aware of the weaponry that was going to be right around that corner. I mean, a lot of times the judge is going to be up in, you know, mail or up in vents, things like that. This time, it is right next to them. Good reaction, though, here to use the relay bolt into the Tejo util. At least give themselves some kind of chance. But the whole time this battle's going on outside of garage, Kelly S is just walking through spawn after they kill Mako. He's just taking his time going on the walk. And he will find a ton of value because of that. Couple away from freeing's ult, still sitting on that Viper ult for Mako, but he's been on solo duty over at A. And this time, off the rip, GE sent an extra player over, thinking that maybe there could be an aggressive push. Instead, it's just the freeing flashback duo clearing through in towards mid. There's a sonic sensor that Kelly S is going to try to play off of from heaven. Gunman's got the op. They're trying to bait for him a little bit there. But the smoke goes up, and Poppy's going to reposition.
And does he tiny bit of damage there.
Just a bit. See, now DRX very wary of any of these trap plays, and GE might be thinking about another one. Same kind of setup.
Youngman saves him off here for the first. Paint shells. Who's it? I don't think he has any clue. Yeah, he does not know. You could knife.
No surprises.
He's gonna wait.
Well, he's trying to see if there's anybody else pushing in this angle. There's not. He's all alone. Patrick Hu now dead in heaven.
30 seconds
Kelly S, though, continuing to play this quietly. Slowly sneaking in from behind. Now opens up here with the shots. Swings back in, looks for a little bit more, but Straya just able to win out that fight. That not much loss in the way of economics. So Global close out a relatively clean anti-eco, now go into their bonus.
Yeah, and it's looking pretty decent. Some Bulldogs, a Guardian, and a Phantom, I think. Good value out of the Marshal there. Couple quick kills for DRX. They spring into action off of contact, try to do what they can with the classics.
Boys, let's go, boys. Just fucking win this map, bro.
Let's win the map.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, for what it's worth, Kelly S does a great job just always staying positive, being vocal. You can hear him up here in the caster booth. Who's freeing?
Not eating any damage this time around. Straight up. Boosted up over the top here. As, oh, there's the triple. Dissipate peak. And it's going to be a 1-for-1. Blast back across. Patrick Hu, though, eating an immense amount of damage on entry. Means that it's a very easy cleanup for Hyunmin.
Oh, I love this. Freeing, aware that they had given up this space, using the drone to clear it. He's going to get the spot on the Crystal, too. That's so heads up.
Just a drift back here from Flashback. Not over challenging for the fight. Freeing eyes in towards that A heaven position in case they come up through the vents. Flashback gets positioned here on the rafter, just on that corner. Drops down, makes some noise though. Not the silent drop. Intentional or not, hard to say. For now, Global Esports are very much pinned in place.
They're really trying to get some kind of read, waiting for this haunt to come back up before they make any moves. They're trying to just throw some util to sell a fake.
They just took the time to go ahead, double clear into garage, get the orb. Now Yunaton had spotted, taken off. Grab net, not able to find anything there, and Kelly S flushed over towards this side of the pillar. The spike is still in hand, needing to clear this out, cannot find it.
Spike down.
Spike will be down, the round will come to a conclusion. The bonus conversion not on the cards here as DRX bringing things back, being damn close. One round separating as Free will find the final kill.
Just really aggressive towards mid this time, but DRX so good about understanding when and where players could be. That one from Estrella, you can't really blame him on. You're just anticipating, you know, one of their players, whether it be one of the Sentinels or Poppy, is going to maybe try to challenge that angle. So you're trying to use that as kind of a catch that solo lurking player off guard. Instead, there's three there. He at least is trading one out. That's not bad in that situation. But really, for me, freeing there with that timely stealth drone is what really allowed DRX to settle in comfortably there in the mid round. Very, very heads-up play from him.
I'm out of here.
This Flashback seems to be on perma mid duty. Backed off by the util. Has to pull out the grab net.
Fine for the moment. Global just fishing where possible, trying to see if they can catch anything here for free.
Estrella's trying to inch forward at B main. Nobody's really watching that for Global Esports. There's just a smoke there to keep him at bay.
With the push out in the mid. Waits it out. Poison Orb drops, Flashback, sending the relay bolt. Just looking to try to just hold back this line. Keep them protected for Hyunmin, who swings in. Almost has him lined up, but only going to be good for one. Looking for the transfer there is Flashback. He cannot. It's going to be Poppy coming away with two. Looks for a little bit more, but freeing in from behind, able to go ahead and find the punish, and now Yunaton needs to fight his way back across through the vents.
Double stack this. Really smart from DRX.
30
Smoke
seconds left.
set up. I mean, he has a cam. He could throw it out maybe, but I don't think he's going to get much of a glimpse here.
Still a paranoia too.
Needs those stray shots to connect. And as he goes for the swing, Estrella is there, the off angle. We are tied up at 8-8. Global going to be knocked back economically. So another attempt here out of Thrifty, pulled off the previous one. This would be a critical one to win.
I mean, the timing there, not bad from Flashback. Almost transferred over for the second. Freeing quick to react through the vents. Get over. Find that extra kill. Poppy's still busy watching B Heaven. Yeah, Outlaw for Flashback. Also has the ult to back it up. The overdrive is there. Let's see what they want to do. A gap in the smoke.
Second shot going to go a little bit wide. Still Crystal taken down. There's Vidotan swinging from main. A little bit of damage found on Mako, but Mako wins those. Free peek from flashback. Quick little reload. Ping out. Kelly S through the smoke is able to go ahead and put the Outlaw on the floor. See how much more damage they're going to be able to find.
I mean, it's one of those weird situations for Kelly S. Get the gun upgrade, get another kill. You could send an Annihilation, and all of a sudden it's a 2v2. Still a chance for Global Esports for sure. Free gun. Makes a bit of noise, though. Looks like it was intentional to sell, like they were trying to go towards A. Outlaw scooped up for Poppy. Hyunmin still has the paint shells.
Just waiting it out
30
quietly
seconds
here.
left.
There, I mean, DRX, they have to know that this weapon's going to be picked up. But, you know, there's a spot out. Paint shells, salvos, everything being chucked up here in towards heaven. As the clock hits 15 seconds remaining. Being able to just get the plant would be nice here for the side of Global to get that money. And it's freeing, going to be pushed off the angle. They're out into the open. Shots are getting whiffy, but okay. Eventually, stability found. An extra casualty picked up there for the side of Global Esports, but DRX close out the round and now regain the lead 9-8.
I'm just so impressed with the way that DRX is so communicative and the way that they know when not to fight. Like so many teams you'll see when they're in an advantage in a 4v2 and the players will get overconfident and they'll push. In this situation, you know, the players from DRX, Freeing and company, they're backing up while they're allowing the players from A to rotate over so they can really all collapse together onto those last two players of Global Esports. Don't give them any chances. Doesn't matter if you're up against an eco, play it correctly every time. And that's something that DRX does so well. And it makes it very difficult to get those, you know, 2vx's or 1vx wins against them. It does happen, of course, but the way they play it is so textbook. Global Esports coaching staff, Darion in there today as well with Elevated, trying to help his new coach out, new head coach out. First time in 2 years, after 2 years, to see DRX and GE.
We talked about how important this one could be here for GE.
Yeah.
You know, a win, you're in a great spot to make it into the playoffs. If not already, no, I don't think they wouldn't lock, but it would be a very good spot, yeah. And it would basically come down to them and Paper X.
Yep.
So you win that series and then you're in. Now, a loss here would make that series versus Paper X an absolute must-win.
awkward if they can't get it done in this round for the next one. Try to close the map out.
Oh.
No util to set that up.
Well, I think they thought that they were going to be able to have the catch, that he wouldn't be able to get out.
When he's like right at the corner and he could just go to...
Yeah, but
Yeah.
he was able to just get away, so they get rid of that Armageddon that could be pivotal in getting, you know, a retake of a site going. Cosmic Divide in play. Kelly is able to find one. Mako going to be taken down. Estrella needing to try to hold the line here on the site. Hyunmin does come to his rescue, but gets tagged up down to 8 HP. Estrella, he's just killed 3. It's a massacre at his hands and bring up over the top. He will just put him down, 13 to 10. A bit of an odd finish here on Split, but DRX coming away with a 2-0 victory. And with that win, they have officially punched their ticket into the playoffs here at Stage 1 alongside Boom Esports.
Yeah, well-deserved for DRX. They continue to just steamroll teams. They are so solid in so many different ways. Macro, micro, fundamentals of the game, all very good for DRX. At Global Esports, we saw when they got to their map pick, they had some ideas, they had some punch in them, they had some fight back. Very nice to see, but in the long run, DRX still just, even when they're running stuff that doesn't feel very DRX,
yeah,
it still kind of looks like it. It still has that same flavor, even though if it might be a bit of a different recipe.
It didn't feel very DRX, but also not very Split. I mean, the neon rays is definitely something.
Yeah.
But they go with it. They're able to get the victory. And I thought for sure we were going to be seeing, you know, Raise Yoru
Me too.
coming out from this team.
Me too.
But they changed things up. And, you know, a couple more stumbles, a little bit more difficulty, but in the end, DRX come away with that win. Global Esports not out of it yet. Still opportunities for them here in Stage 1 to make their way over to the playoffs, but they're taking the roughest road. We're going to go ahead and send it down to the stage, though, where we're going to have Bella standing by for a winner's interview. We'll go ahead and pass it over to her.
Hello everyone, it's Bella with the post-match interview, and we have the new guy. Hello, new face, Estrella. 안녕하세요. 인터뷰 만나보겠습니다. 박수 부탁드리겠습니다. All right, Estrella, a new whole color on you, and this is your first. Oh, okay. Make sure to put the jacket on. Oh, all right. This is a new color on you. This is your first win here in Pacific with DRX. So, how are you feeling? How was it like? 익숙한 얼굴에 새로운 색이 이렇게 입혀졌습니다. 오늘 DRX로 합류하고 첫 출전하자마자 승리를 가져가셨는데 지금 좀 기분이 어떠신가요?
일단 좋습니다.
끝인가요, 그냥?
네.
It's good. 좋습니다. All right. And now you are finally able to come in your mother tongue, Korean. How confident does that make you that you can freely talk to your teammates in Korean and without the pressure of being the IGL as well? 이제 드디어 팀원들과 한국어로 이렇게 소통을 하면서 게임에만 집중을 할 수 있게 됐어요. IGL의 그 부담감도 내려놓고 편하게 소통하면서 좀 더 게임에 집중할 수 있을 것 같은데 좀 어떠세요?
일단은 제일 확실한 부분은 제가 외국 팀에 있다가 이제 한국 팀으로 왔잖아요. 그래서 그 부분에서 확실히 엄청 편하다는 걸 느꼈고 말도 많이 잘 나오고 확실히 총에 더 집중할 수도 있고 다 전반적으로 좋은 것 같아요.
Overall, I think the biggest change was that, you know, I joined a new Korean team. So I think the fact that I don't have to go back and forth with Korean and English really takes the pressure off and I think I can actually just focus on my game and my aim as well. That is amazing to hear. And joining any team is a big change, but mid-season is a bigger change. And I think this is all part of Coach Termi's big picture. So what do you think Coach Termi wants you to fill in? Like what kind of role do you think he brought you on into? 아무래도 코치 터미 감독님의 큰 그림이 있으신 것 같은데 좀 에스트레아 선수는 좀 어떤 역할을 기대하고 저희가 만나보면 될까요?
그냥 있는 그대로 봐주시면 될 것 같습니다. 딱히 막 특별한 그건 없는 것 같아요.
I don't think Coach Terry actually had any specific goal or role that he wanted me to fill in. I think he just brought me on, and I think if everyone could just see me as Estrella, that would be great. All right, thank you, Estrella. That was a good win from you guys. Congratulations.
감사합니다.
And to everyone in the venue, we have a DRX meet and greet in the lobby, so make sure to step by and wish them congratulations. 오늘 1층에서 DRX 팬미팅 진행될 예정이니 많이 찾아주시길 바랍니다. 그럼 저희는 좀 이따가 만나겠습니다.
I got the juice like a snow cone. Ice in my veins and a cold flow. I'm getting cash overseas by the boatload. You wanna ride my wave? That's a no-go. Senoritas going loco. Make it bounce like a pogo. All my haters see rojo. They big mad cause they coming up short like Frodo. Activate the beast mode. I keep it hot, give your brain a heat stroke. You ain't a big shot, you some basic B-roll. The world is mine like my name's Pacino. Hey, it's Nico, I guess I'm back. Catch me in the fast lane on the right track. And my shorty is a 10 like a dime bag. Got me feeling like a millie, check the price tag. Got the party jumping like crisscross. Got the gold chain and the wristwatch. Pull up on the scene like a big shot. EDM and hip hop, ain't no time for pit stops. Got the party jumping like crisscross. Got the gold chain and the wristwatch. Pull up on the scene like a big shot. EDM and hip hop, cause my style. No time for daydreams. All my brothers get money, we call it gang green. Just another day, but our focus still on the same thing. Us against everyone else, I recommend you change teams. Who the hottest in the city? We the top two. You said your music was litty, but that is not true. Just being honest, you should really just stop, fool. Matter of fact, empty no pockets, give me that watch too. My mind is wicked, that's why I spit it so hostile. Freaky girls in the crib, it's like I live in a brothel. All I spit is Leviticus, but I'm not an apostle. My nuts hang low, long and they colossal. Black trader black, she messiah to the misfits. Run circles, run these rappers till my shit splits. You a little late to the party, baby, I been lit. If you ain't on the friend list, you better mind your business. Got the party jumping like crisscross. Got the gold chain and the wristwatch. Pull up on the scene like a big shot. EDM and hip hop, ain't no time for pit stops. Got the party jumping like crisscross. Got the gold chain and the wristwatch. Pull up on the scene like a big shot. EDM and hip hop, cause my style.